All right, guys, so inside this video, we're going to talk all about offer stacks and why they are so important and why every single sales funnel that you launch should absolutely have an offer stack. Whether you have a free product, a paid service, if you're running e-commerce or info or even retail, whatever you guys are selling online, you should absolutely have an offer stack. And that's because an offer stack increases the perceived value of your product or service to the people that are on the page looking at it, right? It really shows your entire offer all in one place. And again, that really increases the perceived value of it. Now, we're going to go over that more when we jump in my computer in just a second here. But I'm also going to show you how to build and create your very own offer stack so that you can do just that. And you can, essentially use a quick template, and I'll show you how to get these templates. And you basically just drag in your offer or your logo, whatever you guys have, and you can put this together in probably 5 or 10 minutes, okay? So let's real quick just hop into my computer. I want to show you guys how to actually put one of these together and talk a little bit more about why every single offer out there that you launch, you're going to want, once again, an offer stack, okay? So just hopping in here to the Rockstar template that, if you guys pick this up, if you didn't, there's a link below where you can get it. But this is what an offer stack actually looks like, right? And I'm actually quite proud of this one. It looks really clean. I love how this thing looks, Again, if you guys are selling guitar lessons, wow, this thing is like almost perfect for you, right? Like you have a whole template and everything ready to go. But if you're not selling, guitar courses or anything related to guitar, it's probably most of you, right? You're going to obviously want to make an offer stack that works for your product or your service, right? Now, let me break this down real quick. So what's actually going on in our quote unquote offer stack, that I've been railing on about for the last minute or two. The thing is that if you're selling an info product, right, we need to essentially bring together all of our bonuses, the product that we're selling, like the core product that we're selling, anything that we're giving away. All we're trying to do here is just give a visual representation of everything that they get if they just take us up right here for the $7 package, or if you're giving it away for free, or if it's a high ticket offer, or whatever you guys are doing. But on the specific sales page, we want this to be a very high perceived value image, okay? We want to show everything here. So in this example that I have, I'm saying, hey, you're going to get this guitar master course. You're going to get the basics. You're going to get the guitar master course, electric versus acoustic. And then, of course, the guitar master pedals and effects. So I'm going to teach you how to do this, this, and this, okay? And then I have like a little training, like the training course that they'll see, like when they log in, that sort of thing. And then I just have like this little, like, it's almost like a, like a graphic, or something. It's not even like a real, amp there, but it looks really clean, right? It looks really clean. I got the logo down there, or like our main logo. So you guys can dress these up however you want, however you want to build these. Now, a few things here. First off, it's not like they're getting a box in the mail if they ordered the course, right? It's not like we're shipping them a box or anything like that. And so some people are like, oh, that's corny. Like, why are you doing like a software box? We're not actually shipping them anything. Or you'll see some like the old school guys that do, like old school marketers that do, it'll be like a DVD set, right? And it'll be like DVDs or CDs or something like that. And it's like, no one uses CDs or DVDs anymore. Why are they still doing that? Well, they can make these giant, huge offer stacks. And when you make this huge thing, and it really shows like the entire like offer all in one place, like all in one image. And it just shows like you get, again, like in this particular one, you get the basics, the electric versus acoustic, you get the pedals, you get this course, like you get all this stuff, right? And you're getting all this for just $7. So it really helps the value of the offer. It helps them visualize your actual offer, okay? And this is particularly very, very, very important if you're selling info products, okay? Info, courses, if you're selling a type of consulting, whatever it may be, you want an offer stack. Now, here's the thing. If you guys are trying to, if you're going through this course and you're trying to build this thing in an afternoon, you do not want to make 5 offer stacks or 10 offers. Like, you don't go crazy with it. Make one. Okay, make one. You can still launch this thing in an afternoon. You have the template, you have everything laid out for you. You have the whole sales page, you got the whole funnel, everything. If you guys pick that up from me, again, just take my stuff out, put your stuff in, make one offer stack, which I'm going to show you how to do here in just a few minutes, and launch the thing, okay? Do not make 10 of them. Like, don't go crazy with it. Do not like, oh, well, I want the logo up here, or I want the logo over here. Like, this little setup, and again, like it's fake, right? So like I put this together, but I didn't spend all day on it, and it still looks really, really nice, and it still shows for all the little fake stuff that we put in, the little fake bonuses and everything we're giving away here. It looks very clean. It looks very clean, and it's a very high perceived value. They're getting, like again, like we could show in an image here, we could just have like, like we could have used just a screenshot, right, of the course area and said, hey, you're getting this course and here's everything in the course. You could do that. Like a step up from that would be like maybe like it's in this like, fake computer screen right here, right? And then that'd be like not a bad little, start of an offer stack. But what we do is we put the boxes in there, and you can play around with this as much as you want. Again, we're going to go over how to actually build these things out, but I wanted to show you another example here, and you probably already have seen this one. If you haven't, well, I don't know how you guys picked up this template today or this course. So this is my offer stack, and I'm actually changing it, so it'll be different when you guys get in. This is not as clean as I wanted it to come out, but again, it only took me about 5 or 10 minutes to put this thing together, and that was kind of the point. I don't want to spend all month creating 10 offer stacks, and putting it all together. But inside you basically see the pages that I'm giving away. This is actually our older funnel. And like I have the pages laid out here, and then I have the little boxes here. So you get this, this, and this. And then here is like the help desk. And then there's a little weird picture of me with the course and everything, right? So you can see everything that you're getting, and you're getting all of this for just $7, okay? So like I want you to see what that looks like. And I actually go further here, and I actually break them down because I already have the assets now. So like once you have the assets, so like again, like I created here, like this page, like I took a screenshot of the actual funnel that I gave away, or I sold actually. I put the screenshots in, and it put this little bar on top, so it looks like it's like on a Mac or something like that, and it makes it all laid out like all like real cool like that, right? So like this one is in front, this one's a little bit further behind, this one's all the way in the back, right? And then you can stagger the boxes, kind of fit it in however you want, and you can make them all fancy, right? So I'm going to show you again, like I'm going to show you how to build these things out. But as you can see here, once you have the assets, you can do all kinds of things with it. You can get really creative. And again, don't let the creative side go too far. If you're just trying to do a quick launch here, I want you to get this thing up, launch it, and then once it's launched, then you can come back and play around with like fancy offer stacks and stuff like that, okay? But as you can see here, these pages that are laid out, if you come down just a little bit, I repurpose the pages, so then it's just, it's like 1, 2, 3. Like it works, it looks really nice like that, right? Same thing with what I did with the course here. Like I could have just said like, hey, you get this pro warm-up funnel, and just had like a picture of the sales page, or like that I'm like the page that I'm essentially giving you guys, right? I could just do that, but it looks a lot better if I show 3 pages like that, okay? Same thing that we did with the Offer Igniter course. It's like, here's like these little 5-star things. And, this was actually from another product called Review Igniter that I did. But I still like how it looks. So, I'm throwing that in. So, it's essentially a picture of me, like on a Zoom, like a fake Zoom video or whatever. And then I have this little box here. And then I have this thing, right? So again, like I'm taking these images out, like I just threw these in for information purposes, so you guys can see what an offer stack looks like. And then of course, like the help desk community, there's not really much that I need to add there, so I just did this little like laptop thing, okay? And I'm going to show you guys very easily how to do this for your own products. You just take a screenshot and you drag it into this template creator. It's a little mock-up creator per se. I'll show you guys again like how to do this, but you just drag in a screenshot, and now it's in a MacBook, and now you have an image of your product or service inside of this like laptop, right? And then you can add the laptop to like other things, and it's actually really easy to put all this together. But I just don't want you, the time really comes into like after like you start getting fancy, okay? So like I want you guys to start out by just having one offer stack just like this, like one big one, and then later on after you launch the thing, then you can break down that offer stack and bring it into like like these little like tiny graphics down here, okay? These don't matter as much, like they don't matter as much as this big one, because the big one is the first thing that people are going to see, right? And then of course later down like towards the bottom of the page, okay? So we'll just come through here, and you'll see that I'm kind of doing, I'm not really doing an offer stack here. Like I'm just showing the page, and that's just because it's like I'm giving away a template. I want you guys to see more of it. So like I have to stretch it out because it's like a long form page. So that's the only reason I'm doing it that way. But you can get fancy with it. Like right now, like these are not offer stacks, okay? And they look kind of boring. I'm going to probably be changing this by the time you get here. These will probably be some kind of like offer stacks, or at least show you like multiple pages, or like, it just increases that perceived value. Instead of an offer stack here, I actually do a scroll down. So like when you hover the mouse over, you can actually see the whole page. And again, like I think this is better than an offer stack, and this took a lot of time actually to make this work. So it's some fancy pants code behind that, and we had to figure all that out. Okay, so that took a long time to put that together, but I didn't do this, in my first like few variations of my my SLO funnel. Okay, so and I do it down here as well. So, like this looks really boring. I mean, these are, I'm definitely, dropping out because they look boring, and they look very similar, even though they're different. If this was an offer stack image, it has more perceived value. It looks like, hey, I'm getting so many more things. Okay. And it looks just more professional and everything else. Okay. So, but I will mention, if you just want to launch the thing, again, if you want to throw this up in an afternoon, just do the screenshots. Just do the screenshots. This is like perfectly fine. It's not like you're going to lose sales or anything by not having like offer stacks all over this page. Just create that very first one, okay? Again, this is just my old school mock-up page, but you see me use it again right here. And then like I start repurposing the images, okay? So like once again, you saw the laptop up there. Well, now I have the laptop. Instead of just having the laptop by itself, I put on help desk right underneath it, and then it says for online entrepreneurs. So it looks cleaner that I have the logo. I have the logo essentially right underneath it, okay? And that just took 2 seconds. I copied and pasted my logo, and I said for online entrepreneurs, and now it looks even sweeter, okay? And then I broke down this one where I just took the picture of the Mac, right? Like the screen, and then I added the box to it, right? And I just had one single box. And since I created all the boxes, it's really easy just to slap these together if you have all the assets already, okay? Again, I'm going to show you how to put these together. But, again, like making these little images, even though they're very small images, but they do a lot. They do a lot in the sense that it just, it increases that perceived value. It makes it look like you're an industry leader, right? It just, everything looks better and cleaner, and that they're getting more, and everything, it'll make everything work better, okay? But again, if you're just trying to get launched today, it's not like you're going to be losing sales or anything like that if you don't have all these assets put in, okay? Just do the first one like I was saying, okay? Here's another one with the box set. I don't really like this one that much, but again, like I threw this together kind of quick because again, I don't want to spend all afternoon on it. Not that I'm being lazy, but I want the thing launched, okay? So here's another one with my iPad drawing. You guys have, I don't know whether you've seen this video or not. It's actually, I think it's in this course, but this specific video, and then it just says funnel money, okay? And then here's another offer stack. And this is just me saying like, hey, you're going to get this extra bonus here. And like, here's like a picture of, not just one page, but it shows all the pages. It makes it look more valuable because it's not just one sales page they're getting. No, they're getting the sales page, the order form, the OTOs, and then the thank you page, right? And you put that all in one image, and then they can just look at it all in one place. It's not like they have to keep scrolling and seeing like 80 different images, okay? And then I use it down here where it says, it starts to get simple. I use the offer stack again, and I use another offer stack, and this one does not have an offer stack. So, maybe I should add an offer stack there, okay? And then usually further down the page, I bring up the offer stack again, okay? And I just show like everything they're getting towards the bottom, okay? And then after the offer stack, as you come down here, usually I'm start breaking down like all the things inside of that offer stack, okay? They get this and this and this and all these things. And, normally this is what people do. They'll list all these things, and that's great. I mean, that's what you should do. But isn't it nicer to have this giant offer stack, right? It's like the perceived value is higher because they can visualize it, is what I'm trying to say, okay? So hopefully that makes sense for you. And then again, on the demo that I'm giving you guys, just to break it down a little bit further, I actually, again, like this is a demo, so I have to obviously, like, I'm not going to be making offer stacks for 50 years for a product that no one is ever going to launch anyways, and then it'll never be launched. It's just for demonstration purposes. But I put this guitar in, like I was showing you before, but then I actually use the boxes. Now, this does not necessarily, like, this isn't ideal having these boxes in here. It's like, but it'll work, okay? It'll work. So, you could dress this up and make this fancier. These boxes are quite big. I'd probably make these a little bit smaller. But you could dress it up. Essentially, I'd want some kind of offer stack in here or something that may be similar to what I had in my boxes up here, which, this is like one of my old templates. But if you just look at the first one here, it's just something very simple, okay? So you can get like really into this, but again, like if you're wasting all this time on it, like it's not going to make that big of a difference for like the breakdowns, okay? As long as you have that big one, that one's important, okay? And then I just quickly threw this in on the monitor, and then I threw these boxes, and see, like I repurposed it. Once again, I used this image right here, and then I brought it down here, but then I put these 3 boxes in because these are the private lessons, so you get maybe like 3 private lessons or something like that. And like you're showing it as perceived value, okay? And then I have like the final offer stack, and I just kind of like threw that in. But you guys kind of see what I'm saying. The bonuses really is kind of like the area to really shine with your offer stack. And then like once they come down here, they're like, oh wow, like it's simple to get started. Step 1, sign up for this big thing. This is what you're getting here today, right? And then step 2, watch the training course. It looks kind of like this. And then practice, right? And then whatever offer stack you guys use, it kind of looks like this, okay? So, and then here's the big one, right? And then like, this is like the big important one, right? Because then we show it again, and then we're like, hey, you get all this stuff. All you have to do is just click this button, and it's $7. Like you get all this stuff. You get this thing, you get this thing, you get this thing, you get this master course, you get a 30-day back money back guarantee. You get, like a private lesson with me. You get bonus 1, 2, and 3, and you just throw it all in there and make this big, beautiful offer stack, right? So that is the key, guys. That is the key, okay? The more things that you can stuff in there, and don't make it too crowded. Like this one is actually quite crowded, and that's why I'm fixing it. I don't really like how this looks. I just need to clean it up. So you don't want it to be too crowded, okay? So that all being said, let's actually hop into how we can create an offer stack for our own product, services, our free thing, whatever that we have on our sales page, okay? So very quickly, I'm going to show you guys how to do this. I'm going to get my Photoshop kind of booted up here. Now, look, like I understand that a lot of people that are watching this, they do not have Photoshop. They're not using Photoshop, whatever the case may be. Now I'm getting lost here. If you don't use Photoshop, like it's okay. Like if you've never used it before, that's okay. This is just point and click stuff, which I'm going to show you how to do in here in just a second. Okay. Now, the other thing is like, do you have to buy Photoshop? Well, I believe there is a free trial. Okay. So if you go to adobe.com, you download it, get the 7-day free trial or whatever, this is going to take like a couple minutes to put together. Okay. So again, like I don't want to give this like giant like Photoshop tutorial or anything like that, but I just want to show you how to build one of these so that you can drop it quickly into your funnel. Also to mention, there are some generators out there. If you search around on Google, there are some generators, that you can like drop in your product, and then it'll make it for you. You have to pay for it. Almost all of them that I've found, at least, you have to pay for. I'm sure there's some free ones around, but for the time that it's going to take you to go find the free one, or I guess you could just pay for it. You could do that, but like you might as well just learn this quick little skill because you're probably going to be making more offer stacks later on down the road. Okay. So anyways, so how did I make this thing? Okay. First and foremost, let's hop into a really, really great website called, well, it's not called anything because I don't know why it's not loading. I already brought this up. I don't know where we are. Well, it's called FreePick. Okay. And I can link it below. I'll try to remember to link it below, but it's freepik.com. This is a sweet site. And if you guys haven't heard about this, most people probably watching this video have not heard about this, but this is the exclusive one that I use. I love these guys. They have everything, okay? And there are free things and paid things, but here's the thing. They have a free trial, okay? So if you want to sign up for the free trial and download whatever you guys are looking for, it's up to you if you want to cancel, okay? But this is how I do it. So let's just say I want to create this box right here, okay? If I want to create this box, or any other product, like if you're selling an e-commerce product, by the way, let's just say, we'll go over a few different, categories, industries, niches, that sort of thing. But if you're selling like t-shirts, for example, this will mock up all the t-shirts. If you're selling a canvas product, this will mock up a canvas in like your office or like above a fireplace or something like that. And you just drag in your image that you would like print or send to the printer or whatever, and you just put that in there, and it just makes this really awesome mock-up, right? Same thing with the boxes. Same thing with, any e-commerce product that you have. This guitar, by the way, and this amp that I found, I found this on Canva. Okay, so I actually made it real quick. I got these files, okay, from FreePick. I dropped them into Photoshop, right? I basically drag and drop, and you'll see this in a second. I just drag and drop things in just a few seconds, and then I have the boxes, right? Or I have the monitor or whatever I have. And then I go into Canva and I go search for some cool like some cool illustrations, right? And put it all together. Okay. So that all being said, let's hop into FreePick and let me just show you some quick examples. So if I want software box, I'll just type in software box mockup, and yeah, let's just enter, see what that looks like. Okay. So here we are, and sure enough, you can find a box really quickly, and there's all kinds of boxes. You can have this box, you can have this fancy one that looks like this. There's all these boxes here, right? They have all different kinds, and you guys could be searching here for hours. I've been guilty of that plenty of times because you always, kind of go down this rabbit hole where you want to make everything look cool. Like this one looks sweet, this one looks really sweet, right? There's some paid ones, there's some free ones. The important thing here is, again, I don't know your backgrounds and everything. I've been using Photoshop for 2 full decades, 2 full decades, okay? So I use Photoshop, which are PSD files, okay? So if you click on PSD right here, this will show you all the files that are made for Photoshop, okay? Make sure you filter it down, because if you don't filter it down and then you find one you like and you try to bring it into Photoshop, it's the wrong file, and then it doesn't work, then you'll be mad because you probably spent money or something, okay? That all being said, let's hop into the next thing here. So let's see here. I don't know. I mean, we can go for any of these. I mean, I'm not going to buy any of these today. Again, I'm not even logged in, but I have a subscription to these guys. Like this one, for example. This one looks really good. Perfect. So if you guys are doing not software, but software would work too, obviously. This will work very well for software. But if you want these boxes here, and if you're giving away a course or something like that, that's just exactly how I made these boxes. I just found a box just like this one. This one looks better than mine, okay? And it's actually very easy to put this together, okay? And I'm going to show you in a second how to do that. But first, again, get your free trial or whatever through these guys. That's all I really need to say. So there'll be a little download button here. Make sure that it says PSD if you're going to be using Photoshop like we're going to be using inside of this demo today, okay? So download your thing, okay? If that's not you and you want t-shirts or you want canvases or whatever you guys are giving away, selling, there's all these for example, you can did I say mock-up? T-shirt mock-ups. There should be, for example, this one right here, okay? So there's this guy right here. This is perfect. So if you have a design for a t-shirt or something, you just drag it in, you just drag your design in and boom, this dude right here is wearing your t-shirt. And it looks all perfect in 3D and it doesn't look fake. You just copied it and pasted it on. It looks like 2D and it looks all weird, right? And there's a whole bunch of other things you can do. You can see all these other things, like this person running a race or something like that. They do business cards, they do mock, there's just so much in here, guys. And it's such a great resource. If you're doing, and again, if you're in the e-commerce space or doing any kind of print on demand stuff, you already know about this stuff, right? So again, I know there's all kinds of people coming in here. Canvas, mock-up. See, you could do wall art. You could look at this bird here. So instead of having a bird here, it would just be your canvas and it would look perfect. You just literally drag and drop your canvas or whatever you guys, your print, right? You drag it in and it makes it look all 3D and cool like that, right? There's all different kinds of design. Look at how nice this one looks, right? I love these. So you can go quite a bit down the rabbit hole here, but pick a couple ones. If you're doing digital, I usually just stick to the boxes and keep it simple because, again, I'm trying to get this thing launched as soon as possible, okay? So hope that makes sense. Now, what we want to do is we want to find one of these, make sure it's in a PSD format. Again, just keep it simple. And it even look, okay, nope, I thought that said Canva for a second. I don't know, they might have Canva. I doubt it. But either way, I use Photoshop, so that's what we're going to use for this video. Find your thing. Make sure it's a PSD file, okay? So it says, this one's free, so it doesn't say anything. This one probably is. Yeah, so PSD. Just make sure it's a PSD file, and that'll work for Photoshop. You can go get yourself a free trial of Photoshop. You can get yourself a free trial of FreePick, and put this all together for free, all right? So very cool. And then you can do whatever you guys want because, it's from a reputable source. Okay. So I'm going to actually bring in some of my templates that I have purchased, and I'm going to show you guys how to quickly make one of these mockups. Okay. So guys, I just had to pause the video real quick because I had to go find all the files I already made, like the logo and the screenshots and all of that. If you don't have a logo, go make one. Go on Fiverr. Use Canva. Canva definitely is the easiest to make a logo. You can take some screenshots of your products, your services, that sort of thing, and then you'll have all those assets together, and then you can use that for the mockup that we're going to be making to make this really, really sweet offer stack. Okay. So again, I use FreePick. There's a million different services out there, but I downloaded this one. I paid for this one. I downloaded this on FreePick. You see this on probably most of my funnels that I have, but I'm going to show you very quickly how to edit this thing, okay? And it's actually very simple. Inside of Photoshop, you just click on the image here, and you'll see in the right-hand screen that, they're all listed out. So like you have the iPhone, you have the iPad, the MacBook, all these things. Now, there's a few things. These are your layers here. So if you don't have the layers tab, again, this isn't like a Photoshop tutorial, but hopefully you have a layers tab here. If you don't, try to find that or YouTube it or something like that. But these mock-up templates, all of them are going to be different and laid out differently. Some are really, really good like this one where it's just like all laid out and you can very clearly see what it is. Others are not so good. And other times you'll have stuff hidden, okay? So if you actually see here where it says devices, if I click that, there's actually like more things down here, okay? There's more folders and whatnot. I'm no Photoshop expert or whiz. I just like to, again, use it for projects and things like that. I've been using it for 2 decades, but I don't I just use it for what I need it for, okay? So again, like today, I think for this example, we're going to use this, this Mac screen right here. We could use the laptop too. The laptop actually is pretty cool. So let's use the laptop. Now, a few things that are going on. I have this like background that's going on. If you just click anywhere on the background, like we want to make sure that there's no background, okay? So you see where it says, like when you click on something, obviously it changes up here in the layers. So if I click on the background, I just want to shut that off, okay? So I hit these little like eyeball things, and it's going to shut all that off. So I want the overlay off. I'm going to start like clicking on some of these things, and if I click on that, oh, we lost it all, so we don't want that. The background, BG, right? So that's probably what it is. And sure enough, we want these little this checkboard here. That means there's nothing in the background, okay? And then this image is not included. Like we can just delete that. So now we have just our simple assets here with no background, okay? So the next thing we want to do is add our screenshot in. Now, again, like depending on what you guys are doing, for me, I'm just going to be using this laptop here. So I'm going to shut all these other ones off. We can do that by hitting the little eyeballs, right? So we just do that. We shut all these off. And there we go. So devices and then MacBook. And again, like all your mock-up files are going to be a little bit different, but almost all of them, every single one that I've ran into at least, which I'm pretty sure it's all of them because that's the whole point of a mock-up. But when you actually come into this, you're looking for something that looks like this. It has like this little like and thing here, like again, like this link button or whatever that thing is. But really what we're doing is we just want to double click on it, okay? And when we double click on it, you'll see that it opens up the actual thing that was on that MacBook screen, okay? And again, like if you've done this before, I'm sorry this is painful, but I just want to make sure that everyone can create their mock-up. So if this is boring to you, skip this video by all means. We're just teaching you how to make mock-ups, okay? So once I have this screen, I'm just going to hide that, okay, because I don't need it. It says delete on there, so we can just delete it. And we're going to paste in whatever we want on that mask screen inside of this window here. So I have some files prepared here, and let's just see what we want to do. Like, how about, well, we could start with something like that, but I already had this screenshot here of this little fake course that I put together, okay? And this is just a demo. So, like, take a picture or a screenshot of your course or whatever you guys are selling that would be, I guess you're putting into a MacBook screen, right? And you just want to do a Control A and then a Control C. We're just copying it, right? Or a manual way would be just taking this little thing up here and just going like that, getting on our clipboard, copy paste. I think you guys know how to do that one. So we copy and paste that, and then we come back over to that file here, or the window here, and we just wanted to paste that in. Now, it's not going to be the right size, right? So we just want to click this little tool over here on the top. We want to drag this guy up here so that it fits. And then on a Mac, at least, you can do a Command T, which gives you like the ability to change the size, okay? Now, you could come up here and I don't know what it's called. I mean, It's usually Control or Command T. So on a Windows PC, I believe it's also Control T as well. But that's how you can adjust the size, okay? So you can adjust the size here. Again, this isn't a Photoshop tutorial. But just drag it so that it fits. Make sure it looks good. You can center it and play around with it. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then once you have that, you want to come up to File and Save, okay? You actually want to save, but don't do Save As. Just File, Save. You can't see it because it's cut off, but go to the top bar, File, Save, okay? Once that is saved, now you can close it. And if you come back to the main file here, check it out. We have a perfect MacBook or whatever laptop that is. Looks kind of like a MacBook to me, a little notch there. But now we have a MacBook, right? So we have kind of like the beginning to our mockup, okay? So I'm going to leave this here, and then let's go make a box, okay? So this is, once again, one of the boxes that I just used on FreePick, okay? And again, like guys, like if this is too complicated for you, like if you don't want to like do it yourself and make like your own mockups, go on Fiverr. Like there's plenty of free. I didn't mention Fiverr, but if you go to Fiverr.com, there's type in mockups, software box mockup. There's like a bajillion people on there. And it's like $5 or $10. So if you don't want to like learn how to do this, and it's just going to take you too long, you know, you have to wait a few days probably for them to make it. But again, like if you have 5 to 15 minutes, you can just make it yourself quite quickly, or you can just have a designer do it, right? So it's like another option for you, or you can just search around on Google for like free generators or something like that. Again, like I know there's some people watching this video that just want to do this themselves. Okay, so next thing, the software box. It's kind of like this exact same setup where you just click on the software box, and it says here, first off, well, we want to get rid of this background here, so it's like the checkerboard. And then we click on the box, and I'm looking for maybe like a left or right, or I forget how this one works. So change color here, so you can change the color of the boxes. Box right, box left. Where is it? Oh, here. So see how it says place your design? Hopefully you can see that. I know this is probably really small on like what you're viewing, but inside of the layers section, it says place your design here. And then we have box right and box left. So let's do the right. You could do left and right. Just today, I'm going to just do the right box, okay? So I want this little drag down. So we click that where it says drop your design. And then once again, it's usually the first file. It's just right there, okay? So if you double click that, once again, there you go. So you just have to replace this with anything you want, and then we'll have the box in. Now, I found this background on Pexels. If you go to Pexels, which is P-E-X, what is it? I have to like write this out. I could go, we could find it real quick here. Pexels. Yeah, there you go. So P-E-X-E-L-S. I'll try to make sure to link this below. But if you go to Pexels, this is just like, you know, free pictures, artwork, like whatever you guys want. It's like royalty free and all that. I'm no attorney, so you know, make sure you do your own due diligence with that. But you could just type in here like black backdrop if you want, black background or whatever, and you can find all these backgrounds, and like all this stuff is free. You could just then click this, you hit save, pre-download, and then after you have that, then you have something that looks like this. Okay, once you have that, I just once again select it, copy paste, and we're going to paste it into our design. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. I'm going to do Command T or Control T once again, and you can once again you can resize this then, or if you move the mouse right in the corner there, you can do this, right? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it up here, stretch this guy way out like that, oop, and then just enter. Okay, so this is kind of like the beginning to our box. Now, wherever you go from here, you can put your logo in, or I mean, whatever you guys are doing. I thought I would bring in. I made these like all these little like icons and things like that, and these illustrations. I found all this in Canva. Okay, so like I just went through Canva, and I'll show you right now. If you go to Canva and you go to elements, right, and you just type in like guitar or whatever. First off, you have to spell it right. Guitar. Once again, I still can't spell it. It's because I'm on video. Guitar amp, like guitar amp, guitar pedals, guitar tunings, right? So you could just grab the amp right here and you just drag it on the screen, right? Now, this one is pretty realistic, so I probably won't want that. We want something without like a background, so we can hit see all, and all these little like fake amp things or illustrations, not fake, but illustrations. So like maybe I like this one, okay? Like whatever you guys are doing, it's kind of clip arty to me, so like I probably wouldn't do that. Like this looks a lot more realistic, but you guys get what I'm saying. That's how you can find your pictures. And then all you do, right, is you put a bunch on the same page here, and you'd like, I want that one, this one, and and you shrink them down and all of that. And once you shrink them down, just go to share, hit download. And by the way, when you do download, make sure you do transparent background. Very, very, very important, okay? Because you don't want the background with it, because then you're gonna have to play around with the background, okay? So once you have that, you're gonna have an image, an export that looks like this. And these are all Canva images, right? Now they're all in one piece. All you have to do is just take this little lasso tool thing right here and just grab the image. And I don't even like that one. I like this one. So I'm gonna grab this image right here, just drag around. Doesn't have to be perfect at all. Doesn't matter, there's no background. And then just copy it, right? And then paste it in, okay? Control T or Command T. And you could do something like this. And just put it in, and obviously you guys, like, you can dress this thing up as much as you want. I found, I had this little thing. Once again, I got this from Canva. This is on the demo site. If you noticed here, do I still have it up? Oh, I thought I did. Did I delete it? No, I should still have it up. There we go. You see that little thing right there, this thing right here, looks pretty familiar. Check it out. It's an image, and I got that off of Canva, and I just threw that in, right? So now you have this cool thing that's built in, right? And it's like a divider, right? It looks pretty sweet. So and that's, again, like just off Canva. So where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so we have this thing. I'm gonna use this maybe once again. We'll go back to our box, paste it in. Ooh, messed it up. Come on. That, no, I want that. And we could just do like, I don't know, like something like this. And let's see here. Maybe our Guitar Master thing, which I have to do a little lasso tool again. I made this logo also in Canva. Took 2 seconds. Just typed in logo design, and it's 2 different colors. And like, I don't waste all my time like on logos. I don't really get into it. You guys can get into it if you want, but like again, like I'm trying to put a product together. I'm not trying to be pretty, and like, I can deal with that stuff later. So I do like Guitar Master here, right? And then what I'm probably gonna do next is probably in white. So I'm gonna change this to white, and then I'm gonna go to the little text tool, and I'm going to type in, I don't know, like distortions or pedals, learning the pedals, something like that, right? Learning the pedals. And then I'm just gonna like put that like that, like whatever. You guys, like, again, like, you guys can get all fancy pants if you want, which you should. Like, don't spend all afternoon with it. Like, you can make it look good, but I mean, you see, like, this isn't taking long, right? Like, this is pretty, like, what can I say? This is pretty ugly, but this is just usually how I create my boxes, like, whatever. Learning the pedals, like, good enough, okay? Good enough. And then whatever else you guys want to add, you could add more stuff or whatever. You can come in here. Actually, I use this one for my box set, so maybe we'll just use this one. I'm gonna grab that, copy that in, and we want to get rid of this pedal, delete, paste that in. Yeah, like this, I don't know, it looks a little bit better. And you play around with the sizes and whatnot, whatever you guys want. Like, I might even like move this down a little bit and make this more centered. So grab my layers here. Oh, I'm still goofing it. Where I thought I had everything. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Goodness. Oh yeah, this guy's been using Photoshop for how long? Oh my goodness. I didn't have the text. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And like, I could move it like in the middle or something, okay? Try not to spend all day on this. Once you have however you guys want it to look, hit File, save it once again. And after it's saved, hit Close. Go back to the original file, wherever that box thing is, and check it out. So like, the box is looking pretty good, okay? And the next part is we just need the spine, okay? So we want to make the spine. We have the first one, it says box right, and then like it says change color here. So like box left, like we want to change the color to like, I don't know, like black or something, maybe like a white tip. Like, I think white would look kind of cool, right? So box left. I don't know why it didn't change. Box right. Oh, I think, oh, okay, so here it is. So next, the spine. Now for the spine, guys, I keep it super, again, I usually keep the spine very, very simple. I copy a background in or whatever I'm doing, okay? Where is it? Here it is. Hopefully no one's getting dizzy. I'm trying to do this quick so you guys don't have to sit here painfully watching me, teaching yourself how to use Photoshop for the first time. Again, you can go on Fiverr. That would be a good resource if you don't want to do this. But I know there's some creative people out there and they might want to know how to do something cool like this. So here it is inside of a training course. Grab this little thing. I think that's actually too much. I don't want that in there. I just want the Guitar Master. So once again, I'm just going to, I'm going to drag, not drag, but grab this thing. I don't have proper terms, guys, and I'm not, I'm a Photoshop guy, but I don't have all the proper terms. Like, use the lasso tool. Like, I don't know what tool it is. It's a little squirrely tool. Like, whatever. I'm a funnel builder. So I might just do something like that. Again, like, you can play around with it, make it all fancy, and do whatever you guys want. But just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to, once again, go to File, and I'm going to go to Save. Not Save As, but Save. I'm going to close it. Let's see what it looks like. Look at that. Bingo bango. Look at how good that looks. And, I'm going to keep that gold spine. I think that actually looks good. Okay. So there we go. We have our first box. And now we have this little computer thing right here. Now, the next thing that you want to do is you want to go to File and New and create a new blank image, a blank canvas, essentially. I don't know why that keeps moving. So usually I just do a perfect square. So like 1080. I don't know if you can see that. But I'll go in here to the width and I'll do 1080 height. 1080, so like a perfect square. You can do whatever size obviously you want, but squares are usually the easiest because you can use them on ads and other things later on, so you don't have to like recreate all this stuff. But the next thing we're going to do, now there's many different ways we could do this, and it depends kind of like on what file you got from Free Pick and how easy it is. But generally speaking, what I do is I highlight all of these things here. So I just click on like whatever, essentially where these little eyeballs are. So I'll click on the eyeballs here and I'll just hold the, either, I don't know what it is on Windows, but on Mac, it's the command button. And that'll allow you to like select whichever things you want to select here, okay? So usually I'll select all of those and then I'll right click on it and I'll go to Convert to Smart Object, okay? And when you do that, it turns it into one single layer. And that's really nice because now you can move it around all on its own, okay? You can then copy it. So, you just click on it, Control A, and then copy, right? And then come to that new thing that you made here, that new blank canvas, paste it in, make sure the background is checkerboard. That's, like when you, again, it's not a Photoshop tutorial, but just make sure that the background is transparent. If you go to File and New, again, make sure that this is transparent right here and not white. I just feel like I should mention that for some reason. So now we have the laptop here, right? And that's pretty cool. But now what about those boxes, okay? So we have the box here. Now, this thing is, like, if you, try doing this, like, it's gonna, like, remove it or something. It's all messed up. That's why we created that smart object before, okay? So the boxes are a little bit different. If you're gonna use two boxes, and I run into this issue all the time because I've used these boxes before, but if you're using two boxes, it works very well. You could just create, the second box right here, and it looks really nice. And you could like start stacking them together if you want. But if I don't want to do two boxes, and I just want to use one box, which just seems to be the case a lot for me, what I usually do is again, like we're going to create a smart object again, but in this case, I'm going to actually come up to, I'm going to just make it easier for myself. So I'm going to come up to the top here and I'm going to go to, you won't be able to see this because it's, it's where the file, edit, all that is, but I'm going to go to layer and then flatten image, okay? Layer, flatten image. And then I want to discard all the images or all the layers. And now I have a white background, okay? So we're going to have to essentially grab this tool here. And all I'm going to do, this is because I'm trying to save time, trying to create a quick offer stack. I'm just going to come here and I'm just going to select it and I'm just going to cut it off. You see on the left there, I'm just going to, like, I don't want it this far because the orange will be in there, but I want it like just to the box right about there and let go. I'm going to then copy that, okay? Once I copy that, I'm just going to go to a new file. And I do this, guys, like I'm breaking this down like in a very step-by-step process. Like, again, like I don't expect most people doing it this way. If you want to go on Fiverr, pay your $5 or $10. This is for the creatives out there that want to learn how to do this, okay? So again, do not spend all afternoon. Go pay the Fiverr guy the $5, okay? So I copied and pasted it into a new page here. And I have this white background, so you have to get rid of that. You hit the little magic wand tool here real quick. Give it a click. And then I just do delete. I just click it, delete, okay? And now, if you do a Control A or Command A, and you can essentially get this whole thing on the clipboard, okay? So I just selected the whole thing, got it on the clipboard, and now paste, okay? And it's really big. Once again, Command T or Control T, and you'll be able to shrink it down then. And now you have your box, okay? And again, like just if you want more boxes, you just go make another box, right? Go make another box, okay? So it does take a little bit of time if you have a lot of boxes, but if you only have like a couple boxes, it doesn't take very long. I'm just going to copy and paste a couple of these in to show you guys like how this looks. And I'm gonna grab all 3 of these, shrink it down a little bit. And so generally speaking, guys, like, you know, again, like you can get all fancy and pants into this, right? Like you can do this however you want, right? But usually, let's see here if I can, usually like kind of like in an offer stack setup, like you kind of want like, you get that really cool effect if you start like doing like overlapping stuff like creatively. Like see how this box right here is underneath that box? You see that? And this box is like above the box, right? So like when I move it past, it's like on top of it, right? So you can play around with that stuff, obviously, with your layers. Again, if you've used Photoshop, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've never done this before, like you can essentially, like this box right here is layer 4. So you can move it down here, and then these layers are above it, right? So now when you move it, it's like behind everything, okay? So like that's really like where the fun comes out with creating these offer stacks. It's because you can get like really, really fancy with these. And, you know, again, like, you know, if we go back to the, not that, where am I? If you go back to this one, our example here, you know, so like this box right here is in front of the amp, okay? But the logo is in front of the box. I mean, obviously this is very self-explanatory stuff, but I'm just saying, like, you know, you have to kind of logically think about it. Like, oh, I want the logo in front of this box, and I want this box, you know, in front of the monitor and in front of the amp, because it would be weird if it was like the amp was in front of everything blocking it. You don't want that, okay? So, oop, where am I here? Right here, okay. So now if I want to, you know, once again, like if I want to use, I don't know, well, probably the logo, right? So we'll just copy that, and we can close this out. I don't need it anymore. Make sure you save that. If you're, you know, save your boxes. Always save as many files as you can, because you can always use them later, okay? So, you know, just make sure that you don't like lose stuff. So maybe I put like this in the middle, you know, kind of do like what I did before, is like I move this down here, I move these things like up here, and I put like the Guitar Master, this logo, down here a little bit, because it looks a little bit cleaner. And so we could put it at the top, but I think it looks a little bit better like down the bottom, or like maybe like this, like kind of like we had before. And then you could move this down, and actually I kind of like that 3, kind of like that looks cool. Maybe make this one a little bit larger. I don't know, playing around with it. Oop, don't want to twist it though. Playing around with it. Maybe it's something like that. I like that, kind of. Maybe something like that. You know, now we kind of have like this like different effect kind of going on, right? It's kind of cool. And then, I don't know, something like that. And then maybe like this is kind of like too big. Maybe I want it just to barely overlap a little bit like that. I don't know, something like that. And this obviously needs to come way up. But you guys kind of see what I'm doing here, right? Like you kind of see what's going on. I mean, you could have it like that. We could also do it, you know, another way is we could move this into like the corner here. Well, I don't like that. We're only using one, you know, we're only using the MacBook. We're not using like the MacBook and then like, you know, the phone and the tablet and all that. So you guys, again, like you can make this all fit. I don't really like how that looks behind it that much, and you don't really want to hide it. It doesn't look terrible, but you know, again, like you're gonna want to play around with this a little bit. Again, like if you look at the demo that I had here, I had it just, you know, like you could see like the very edge, that's where the boxes are. So maybe I'll try something like that, where it's just kind of like, it just doesn't look as good with the laptop. Like, you know, you could probably do, you know, like maybe you do it this way. Oh, instead of doing that, let's do, select all these. What does it look like up here? Oh, it looks kind of silly then. Maybe if I shrink it, you know, or you could just, or again, like you could shrink it maybe like this, and then you could put the boxes like next to it. If you're doing like a longer image, right? You could do something like that, right? And then, you know, I don't know, I kind of like how we had it. It's not as good as the other one, but you know, again, I'm just kind of throwing this together. We could put the guitar in there. We could have, let's see here. I kind of like this one. It looks pretty sweet. Typical guitar there. Let's copy it. Let's go back over here. And then maybe like we just kind of like do something like this. Twist it around a little bit. Again, I'm just having fun, guys. Like, I mean, it's up to you. And you could obviously, as you can see, you can spend a lot of time doing this here. That looks silly up there. I don't like that at all. So, okay, didn't like that. I kind of like this, though. It doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Is there anything else I could think of? I mean, again, like I could throw, you know, I'll show you how I did that other one, you know, so we could just do that. So I'll copy this. This is what I did with the other one. Copy that, go in here, and then, you know, what we could do is we can move everything maybe over to the side a little bit, you know, like this. Yeah, maybe something like that. And then this guy over here, you just make it, well, we'll use that in a second. I'm going to shrink this down, and actually this too, like that. Yeah, maybe something like that. And then, I don't know, maybe something like that. And maybe make this a little bit bigger. Maybe put it right here, something like that. And then I just bring this guy in, make this a little bit larger. That looks kind of cool. And then, oh, of course, we need the guitar. Where's our guitar? I don't know why the it copied kind of like fuzzy. We'll try it. I'll try it again. I don't know why it was looking so fuzzy when I put it in, but hopefully that looks a little bit better. This is how I did the last one. Did something like that, and then maybe we just move this a little bit larger, and then I want this amp in the back, so I'm going to drag it down. Okay, even more. So that the laptop maybe is like in front of it. It's like the little edge is like in front of it, and then the logo has to obviously be on top of this. So I'm just going to drag that to the top here. There we go. So now it's starting to come together. Now, of course, you can put stuff in the top here. Maybe it's like another computer screen or like whatever it is, but this doesn't look too shabby. I mean, maybe I just like crop this a little bit. It's not going to be a perfect square then, so you have to just be mindful of like where you're using the image. But this looks not terrible. I mean, we just kind of like, you know, made this up right now, right? We just made it up. Maybe I want to center this a little bit more. Oop. What are like all these things? Which one was it? That, and this, I think, right? Hopefully that's all of them. Yeah, cool. And like we could center it, we could play around with this. I mean, like, but you can see, guys, like this. Again, like, I mean, you could spend all day on this because you're getting nitpicky. I mean, look at how long that I played around with this, although I am teaching it and that kind of thing. Usually I do whip these up pretty quick. I think the first one maybe took me like 10 minutes. So, again, if you just want to pay somebody, but if you pay someone, then you have to wait usually a few days for it. If you want to launch this thing by today, it might almost, you know, my offer stacks, by the way, and here's something to point out. My offer stacks, this is the last thing that I do, okay? This is the last thing I do. So I'll just throw, as you can see in that previous page I was showing, I had like a mock-up of like the same mock-up of mock-ups. Like inside when I was building my funnel, I just put like, just the one, like it's like a stationary image, or like a, yeah, like a stationary image, I suppose. A placeholder is what I'm trying to say. I usually just put like a placeholder in where my mockup is going to go, and then I just start building the thing out, okay? And then the very last step, when I'm ready to launch, then I go in and I create my mockup, and then I just copy and paste it in. And then there's nothing else to think about, and then I can like create my ads and go. So either way, like hopefully this video has kind of helped you guys out to kind of get some ideas of how to create these mockups. Once you have this, obviously you can just go to File, and then you can do like a Save As or Save as Copy. You can export it as a JPEG or PNG or like whatever you guys are doing. Okay. I would not recommend a JPEG, a PNG, or a .wep, and that is because there is a transparent background. You want to make sure that you're using a transparent background. Okay. So once you have this file, then very easily, of course, you can come back into your funnel and just drop it in, right? And just drop it in and put it right there, okay? Trying to think if there's anything else in here that I need to cover. One thing I will say, maybe we can bring this back to FaceTime here real quick. One thing I will say is if you guys get stuck on this, tag me in the help desk group. Tag me in the help desk group like, hey, like, I can't figure out how to move this thing around, or I can't figure out Photoshop, or I can't find like a good mock-up or something like that. Tag me in the help desk group, and we'll try to find something for you that looks cool, right? You can also add in, which I would really love to see, if you guys have awesome mock-ups that you want to share with the community, throw them in, whether it's if you're in help desk or if you're in Funnel Visions. Throw them in. I would love to see your mock-up, whether you made it or if somebody on Fiverr made it, or if you're just lying and you're saying that you made it and you really just paid a cool Fiverr guy and you like made it all fancy. I mean, hey, whatever. But I'd love to see your mock-ups and just your offer stacks, essentially, for the products or services that you're launching. It'd be really cool to share and to see what you guys create. So I think that is pretty much it for the offer stack video. Again, the reason that we create offer stacks and the reason why we invest this 10, 15 minutes or so, or $5 or $10 on Fiverr, is because we want to create, move this over, is because we want to create high perceived value for our digital product, for our e-commerce product, or whatever product or service that we're selling. Obviously, the offer stack is going to be different for every single product and service. And, for all of you watching, it's going to be different for you, of course, right? You do not have to get fancy with it. Info is very easy. E-commerce is very easy. I think all of them are quite easy. It's just once you get the ball rolling, you saw kind of like my thought process inside of the video. That's why I do these really long videos, because you get to hear me kind of like mumble and like, oh, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. And you get to see the process as I kind of go through it, okay? Which I'm hoping is going to, it's a little bit longer of a video, but hopefully it kind of gives you the idea of how to put this thing together when it comes time for when you have to put it together, okay? Or you can just pay someone, they can just handle it for you. But usually info, I just do the boxes. I do like a little iPad or like a laptop or a MacBook or whatever. And then maybe just like some like cool little illustrations or something like that I find on Canva. I put it all together and then just save it, and then I just drop it in the funnel. Cool. Guys, that's what I have for you inside of the offer stack. And again, I hope to see your new artwork inside of the help desk group. Inside of the next video, we're going to be really kind of diving deep inside of your funnel if you've picked it up already, and progress through the rest of the course. So I'll see you guys in the next video.